All right, so Apple has come out with its own face mask. I don't know if you heard about this. True story. The Apple face mask, they say, was developed by the engineering and industrial design teams, the same groups that work on the iPhone and the iPad. It has 3 layers to filter incoming and outgoing particles. It can be washed and reused as many as 5 times, they say. And in typical Apple style, it's unique. It has large coverings on the top and bottom for your nose and your chin. Now, you can't buy the eye mask, I'm just letting you know. It's only available to Apple employees, especially those who work in all the retail stores. There are so many jokes here, I can't stand it. I mean, how about this one? Sorry, it's not compatible with your current face. You need to throw away your old one and upgrade. Okay. How about it requires a special connector to get it over your ears? That would be true to form. Or how finally this, you won't be able to breathe if you open any windows. Ah, yes. And you see, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, just an example of all the fun that we have here week after week as we talk about living the best digital life ever. All the gadgets and gizmos, what's left of your online security and privacy, how to make money, what's going on with your small business online. And then there's Facebook and Apple and Tesla, and gosh, the list goes on and on and on. You can find us on 400 top stations from coast to coast and around the globe on American Forces Network Radio. And it's called The Kim Komando Show because, after all, I'm America's beloved digital goddess, Kim Komando, here with you once again.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
The eye mask. You know what? If they sold it, I bet you everybody would be buying it. I'm sure you have at least a few questions about something digital I can lend a hand to, and our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. Once again, that number is 1-888-825-5254. All right, time for 5 things that you need to know. And I scour the tech news all day long. That's right. For news for our website, our social media feeds, our daily tech update that you hear every single day on this radio station, or maybe you catch it as a podcast, wherever you get your favorite podcasts. We also have our free breaking news alerts that you don't want to miss, security alerts, and then also our 3-hour national radio show here. And let's start with everyone's privacy exploiter. Who could that be? Anyone? Yes, Facebook. That's right. They've launched a big research partnership. This is what they say, to better understand the impact of its platform on the upcoming election. Now, as part of this research, Facebook and Instagram users, because, you know, Facebook owns Instagram, maybe hundreds of thousands of them will be paid money. That's right. To stay off of Facebook and Instagram the weeks ahead of the election. Wait. What was that? Yeah. Anywhere from 200 to 400,000 people are expected to not go on Facebook and Instagram and get paid $20 per week to stay off of it. I know. I was like, I'll do it. But you have to be invited. You can find more about this over at Komando.com. But speaking of Facebook, it's also going back to its roots with a new product called Campus. It sounds familiar because that's how Facebook started, on college campuses. There's a dedicated news feed, events section, groups, chat rooms. And, you know, I was talking to my son about this, and he's like, you know what, college kids will never go on Facebook. And I said, why? And he said, Facebook is for old people. Oh. You know, I got kicked out of the Flat Earth Facebook group. Want to know why? Because I asked, does the 6-foot social distancing guideline, has it pushed anyone over the edge yet? Okay, that was funny. That was funny, Mike. Okay, you know what? Sometimes I crack myself up. That's one of these ones you're going to use. I know you're going to do. You don't even need to give me credit. You're going to use it on a Zoom call, and people are going to go, oh, yeah, that person's so clever. All right, number 2, you have another way to buy stuff online that you don't really need. We're only days away from the official launch of Walmart's new subscription service called Walmart Plus. But how exactly does it compare to Amazon Prime? For starters, with Walmart Plus, you get a 15-day free trial. After that, it's $89 a year. But you have 2,700 physical stores stocking 160,000 items, including groceries. There's also a 5-cent per gallon fuel discount at select Walmart and other locations. And then there's that other subscription that's been around. What's that one? Yes, Amazon Prime. It's $119 a year, 30-day free trial. Free 2-day shipping on millions and millions of items with no minimum purchase. Your Amazon membership also comes with free streaming of TV shows and movies, unlimited photo storage, discounts at Whole Foods. And of course, you have a $35 minimum grocery order. So which is best? It really comes down to this. Walmart Plus may deliver items faster sometimes, but the inventory is totally way smaller. That means if you want a larger, almost unlimited inventory, go with Amazon Prime. But if you want a physical store, go with Walmart Plus. It's not Amazon, but you can still get the prime rib. Number 3, Jeff Bezos, speaking of prime, is in his prime. While the economy is still in a state of flux due to the ongoing pandemic, you wouldn't know it by looking at Amazon. Earlier this week, this is really great. Amazon announced it was planning to add 33,000 new tech and corporate jobs during a virtual job fair that's coming this week on September 16th. And get this, these jobs have an average pay of $150,000 a year. Okay, wait, everybody come back. Come on back. We need you here at the show. We do. Amazon's offering free career counseling sessions with a team of, they say, 1,000 recruiters, breakout sessions, and everything looks like it's just about full, only 24 hours after the announcement. We've got the link on how you can check out AmazonCareerDay.com over at Komando.com. But speaking of Amazon, let's talk for a second about Black Friday. Once upon a time, that meant going to the stores the Friday after Thanksgiving. And then it started creeping before Thanksgiving and then a month before Thanksgiving. So this year, Black Friday is on November 27th. But according to the new leak, Amazon is going to begin early Black Friday deals starting on Monday, October 26th. So if you're doing the math, that's 1 month early. And true, these deals would end on November 19th with different Black Friday deals leading up to the big day. But what about the brick and mortar stores when it comes to Black Friday during the pandemic? For the first time in 30 years, Walmart will be closed on Thanksgiving Day. So will Best Buy, so will Target and others. I mean, how can you social distance during the chaos that is the annual Black Friday rush? For once, it might be Black Friday that doesn't lead directly into Black and Blue Saturday. Number 4, more Amazon news. Amazon Basics, the cheaper fire hazard. That's right. CNN did a complete investigation going back to 2016, and they found at least 1,500 reviews complaining about 70 Amazon Basics products that exploded, caught fire, melted, or caused an electrical malfunction. Now, 1,500 is a tiny number as compared to 1 million reviews, but these are serious issues. Electronics like cables and battery chargers that would melt power strips in cell phones or scorch electric outlets. Products that would end up setting chairs on fire, charring walls and carpets. Over at Komando.com, we've got a list of the products that have been flagged. Now, Amazon says all Amazon Basics products on the site are safe and that they investigate safety and quality. So I guess from them, you know, Amazon products are just so hot, maybe they're on fire, literally. Finally, number 5, a trendy new work-from-home job title. That's right. The Washington Post points out Facebook recently posted a job listing for a position called Director, Remote Work. The Q&A social site Quora is also looking for a head of remote work. So positions like these, incorporating existing roles and backgrounds in HR and other management skills, but now also have a new focus. So someone who will actually usher in the permanent change for at least some or possibly all the employees who will be staying home, like herding cats across one city or across one country, dailing on Zoom. And while I think they're onto something, let's not miss out on the other new job remote title opportunities. How about this? Important roles like the supervisor of snacks. Okay, that would be good. Or how about, this is my favorite one, the director of day drinking. Yes. All right, throw some bedding on a bunch of different mattresses and sure, they all look alike. The same goes for pillows, but peel away the layers and look, just look at what's inside. And you'll see that they aren't all created equally. And that's what makes every purple pillow and mattress unlike anything you've ever slept on. For starters, the purple grid makes sure you're always so comfortable. I have to tell you, I normally just jump out of bed in the morning, and it even happened to me again this morning. I sat there and I said, oh, this just feels so good. And I arranged myself on the sheets and on the bed, and then I fixed my purple pillow. And I actually sat there for laid there rather, for about another 35 minutes because they have 1,800 open air channels designed to neutralize body heat. You're never going to sleep too hot or too cold. Purple provides a cooling effect other mattresses can't even come close to. And then you add that purple pillow, oh, you're in heaven. Experience the purple grid and you'll sleep like never before. Go to purple.com/Kim10 and use promo code KIM10. That's right, it's a different promo code. For a limited time, you'll get 10% off any order of $200 or more. That's purple.com/KIM10, promo code KIM10 for 10% off any order of $200 or more. Purple.com/KIM10, promo code KIM10. Terms apply. All right, coming up in this week's Digital Life Hack, we always do one of those. It's all about tech that is worth your money. Okay, these aren't things that you're going to buy and you're like, oh boy, that was a bad deal. I never should have bought that. Whether it's a smart speaker or it's a streaming stick or some headphones, whatever it may be, we've got you covered. And of course, we have all of your fantastic phone calls you never ever want to miss here on this coast to coast broadcast of the Kim Komando Show. I don't know, 185 degrees. And the other morning, it was just, or actually it's not this morning. This morning I went outside and it was like 75, 90, and then I went to 80 degrees and I went over to my mother's house. I'm like, oh my gosh, Mom, got to see. We're not living like a mole anymore. And I bring that up because in just a few moments, I'm going to tell you about an annual event. And I did it. I was so blessed to do this several years ago, to go back east and see all the fall foliage. And then we've got a website to tell you how you can see what's happening in your hometown. You don't want to miss that. And our phone lines are open, 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. And just a quick reminder is that, of course, we always love to hear from you when we're doing the show. But if at any time you have a question, you're like, I really want to talk to Kim about that, what we need you to do is head over to the website, Komando.com, and on the right-hand side, there's a link that says Be a Caller. Just fill that form out, and then some of us will get back to you and we'll set you up so we can actually schedule a time for you to speak to me here on the show. And how about we get this party started already with Jeff in Tri-Cities, Washington. Hi there, Jeff.
Hello, Kim. How are you?
I'm good. What's going on in Washington?
Oh, we're in the middle of the big fire season out here. Everyone's getting choked to death with all of the smoke from the fires in the area.
Now, are you far from the fires?
Far enough away, yeah. Well, all we're getting is the smoke.
Yeah, well, that's pretty tough, too. Make sure you don't get outside all that much if you can't, right? Not good for you.
Right.
So what's going on in your digital life?
Well, I am very puzzled by what's happening with Amazon Prime. I belong to Amazon Prime. I like to watch their programming, and I use a VPN when I'm online. And apparently Amazon knows that you're using a VPN because they tell you to turn it off when you want to watch their program. Yeah. And I am very puzzled by that because I thought VPNs were supposed to be untraceable, et cetera.
Well, it's an interesting question. And then just so everybody's on the same page, we'll let you go to the bonus round, Jeff, because I know the answer. What does a VPN stand for?
Virtual Private Network.
Yeah! Yes! Okay, now are you ready for phase 2? No, just kidding. Okay. Is that the websites know when you're on a VPN. Their servers can detect when you're on a VPN. See, what a VPN is, it's kind of like it's this protected tunnel as you go through the internet, but it doesn't mean that websites can't see that you are using that tunnel. They don't know that it's you in the tunnel, but they can see that somebody's trying to access them through the tunnel, okay? So it's not just Amazon Prime. And there are also, like, for example, if you go to some websites and you want to access certain features of the website, and maybe they have security problems there, or they're worried about security problems, that they'll say, we're sorry, you're not allowed to access maybe the chat room if you're coming in from a VPN, because they want to make sure that they can control all the access. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't use a VPN with other services. As a matter of fact, we did an article over on our website about how if you use ExpressVPN, this is kind of an interesting angle on this, is that if you use a VPN with a website like Netflix, though, right, is that you can tell the VPN that you are in, say, the UK. And then if you're in the UK, you can see movies that here, while you're sitting there in the comfort of the Tri-Cities, Washington area, you can see movies that you can't see in the United States, but if you were in the UK, you could see those movies, such as American Beauty or Scarface, or we have a whole list, Midnight Cowboy, The Terminator, 16 Candles. Same thing, like you could tell the VPN that you were, for example, in Australia. And if that wear the case and you could see Goodfellas, Casino, Saving Private Ryan, The Shining. You could tell the VPN that you were in Canada. Okay, get the point? Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump, Once Upon a Time in the West, Good Will Hunting. And so it works kind of the reverse. Now, I don't know why Amazon Prime says you can't watch any movies. Must be some edict that has come down from above and beyond my pay grade. But you can use that whole concept, as I mentioned, in a reverse fashion. And if you'd like a list, if you'd like to see that list of the movies that I just read off, we have it over on our website at Komando.com. And so you can see some different movies that you can lend a hand to. Got to tell you about Simply Safe. Most home security companies trap you with high prices and tricky contracts. Simply Safe protects your home with none of the traditional drawbacks. Go to simplysafekim.com and you're going to get a free HD security camera. Maggie in Phoenix, Arizona. Hi there, Maggie.
Hi, Kim.
Welcome.
I'm currently in nursing school, and I volunteer with a local hospice here in Arizona. I have a patient who has recently become bedbound. She is worried about not being able to answer her door.
Okay.
She does not have Wi-Fi, but she does have a smartphone. Are there any products that you could recommend for her?
That's so nice of you to try to help your patient out like that. You're going to be a fabulous nurse. You really will be.
Thank you.
You're a very caring and compassionate person. We need more people like you in the world. What you can do is you can get a portable hotspot. What she can do is you can tell her to get a portable hotspot. You know what they are, right?
Yes.
And then she can buy, say, for example, a Ring doorbell. And then, using the data off of the hotspot, she'll be able to see exactly who is at the front door, be able to talk to them if she wants, which, and somebody in her position, that makes really great sense, so that this way, if she can't get out of bed and she needs to answer the door, there's also a way and I'm just going to plant this seed, is that there's also a way that if and when the doorbell rings, that it could also be shown on her television too. And so, so why don't you ask her which way that she would prefer? And then we have your email address and you have our email address for the show. And then if it turns out to be that she's like, well, you know what, I think I would really like to see it on the TV. She won't be able to talk back and forth off the TV, but she can still talk back and forth on her phone, okay? But at least she'll have the big picture there, and if she's probably already watching TV, and then it'll be just really simple for her just to switcheroo and then see exactly what's going on. Maggie, thank you so much for your call. Stay right where you are. Our digital life hack's coming up, and you definitely don't want to miss that. I have to tell you, I am so excited who we're going to be talking to next, because I have looked at Teslas for years, many years. I've test driven them. I've even gone to the website. I configure them. But I'm really a car gal. Ferrari, Mercedes, Ford, Corvettes. I have them. And driving on the Autobahn last year was the highlight. And a supercar is amazing. And I keep thinking, wouldn't it be great not to have to go to the gas station anymore? And you can trust Consumer Reports. We all know that. So when I read this story about Tesla, I wanted to know even more about it. And I know that you do too. Now, as a point of reference, Tesla, after 11 years on the market, Tesla ranked as the world's best-selling plug-in and battery electric passenger car manufacturer. Isn't that something? Tesla cars accounted for, well, let me ask you what the percentage is. What is the percentage of battery electric cars sold in the United States for the first half of this year? How many of them were Tesla? And how many? Mike, you want to guess?
I'm going to guess a lot. So 70 to 80%.
You're spot on. No, I don't know why you can't find a wife.
That's right.
81%. And joining us here on the Kim Komando Show special caller line is Mike Monticello. He's the auto reviews editor expert at Consumer Reports. Now, Mike, thank you so much for being here. First, explain to everyone that $8,000 option that Tesla calls the full self-driving capability.
Well, thanks. First of all, thanks for having me, Kim. I appreciate it. So the full self-driving capability is something that Tesla has had for a little while now, and the price has gone up now to $8,000. And basically what it encompasses is a bunch of driver assistance features. It includes features like auto park, summon, auto lane change, smart summon, navigate on autopilot, and traffic light and stop sign control. And some of those are a little bit more recent than others, especially traffic light and stop sign control. And so they're features that are pretty advanced that I think a lot of people are excited about, and just the name itself, full self-driving capability.
Yes.
Kind of makes you think, okay, this is a self-driving car.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what I thought. And that's what caught my attention when I read your report, which was just fantastic, by the way. Because, we all want, don't we? I mean, we want to be able to get in that car and not worry about it. But, we hear the horror stories. And so the full self-driving capability. So off the top, would you trust to really totally use it?
I would certainly wouldn't. Some of the features work better than others. Unfortunately, I think most of the features have enough sort of inconsistencies in the way they operate. The biggest problem is if someone puts too much trust in these systems and dials themselves out of the situation and isn't constantly paying attention, that's when you can get into trouble. Some of these systems can help. Obviously, systems like automatic emergency braking, forward collision warning, those systems are awesome and those are proven. But these other systems, just autopilot, just the system autopilot itself is again another misleading term that Tesla has that makes people think, oh, well, I just hit autopilot and the car will do everything for me. Well, as we found out in our testing of these 6 systems, sometimes they will just disengage for no reason. And if you weren't paying attention, that's when you can get into a dangerous situation.
Okay, you know what? That's a bad thing. Okay, disengage for some reason. I mean, because basically all Tesla, the car is a roving computer, in my opinion. I mean, it's you put a metal shell on it, but at the base is, you've got a car that auto updates over the air. So you have auto update. What about that smart summon that allows the car to drive remotely to a location, say within a parking lot? Did that work?
Well, so again, it works, and the concept is actually kind of neat. Like the way to think of it is think of it kind of like as your own personal valet, except you don't have to tip the guy, right? You can basically, and I think the best situation for it is, let's say you're in the grocery store and it's a rainy day and now you've got all these groceries and you're going to have to, run across the parking lot to go get the car and you're going to get soaked, right? Well, you can actually have the car, using your smartphone and the Tesla smartphone app, you can press, come to me, and you can tell the car to come to you.
Yeah.
And so it has the ability to do that, but as we found out, again, this is a system that is luckily designed only to be used in a private parking lot. We tested it in our Yonkers, New York headquarters facility parking lot. It also worked in, say, a grocery store, things like that. But again, it's kind of inconsistent. As it's driving, it can come to you, but sometimes if it came to like a hill, it would just disengage. Other times it would be driving on the wrong side of the parking lot lane. And other times it actually went through, a stop sign without stopping, without even pausing. So but at other times it will find you and it will come to where you are. But there's enough inconsistencies that it really gives us pause. And I think a lot of owners might use it, once and be like, okay, maybe I'm not going to use that again,
So how is it if it detects a person? I mean, you said like it just blew through a stop sign. What if it's like, I'm thinking of like a mom in a shopping cart, a couple of kids,
right. So what Tesla says is that, it's you're still responsible for your car and must monitor it and its surroundings at all times and be within your line of sight because it may not detect all obstacles. So they always are good about giving these, these kind of instructions for how you're supposed to use the system. But, I don't think that people are necessarily who say that they're going to use it that way. Who says that they're going to make sure that they're within the line of sight of the car?
They're not.
Because Right, because if the whole point is for the car to come to you, why would you be so close to the car? If you're already almost there, just walk to it, right? So
exactly. Just get an umbrella, okay? That's it.
Right, exactly. You're right, 100%.
It's not a big deal. Well, what about the traffic light and stop sign control? You just talked about the stop sign. I mean, it's
right.
So I guess that was inconsistent as well.
Right. Well, so the way the system, according to Tesla, is designed to work is that if you turn the system on, if you say that you want to use this system, it will stop at every stoplight, whether it's yellow, red, or even green. And so let's say you're coming up to a green light. The car is going to start slowing down unless you either hit the accelerator pedal with your foot or pull down on the gear selector stalk. Either one of those will then make the car go back to the speed it was going and continue on through that green traffic light, because it's designed to stop at all stops. Now, to us, that just seems against normal driving habits anyway.
Yes.
Most people aren't going to start slowing down for a green light.
No.
Now, the one thing that it can do is if there was a car ahead of you and it's a green light, it has the ability to follow that car through the green light. But if there's no car in front of you, it will start slowing down, and you're going to have to kind of like, in a sense, re-engage the system. But it also does detect stop signs, and I had it work where it stopped at stop signs, and it also stopped at red lights. But we also had instances where it didn't recognize the stop sign, and it started blowing right through the stop sign into the intersection, and our tester had to slam on the brakes. Other times, it was getting close to the stop sign and started stopping, but well before the stop sign. So you had to keep re-engaging the system. Hit the gear selector stalk, it starts going again, then it stops again. You hit the gear selector stalk again, it starts going, then it stops again, and it still hasn't reached the stoplight. So those are the kind of inconsistencies that we think are just going to cause more confusion and distraction for the driver and, honestly, the drivers around you as well.
And so yellow didn't mean like go like hell? Didn't?
No, I mean, look, you and I know yellow means floor it, right?
Yes, exactly.
No, I didn't say that. You can't quote me.
I did not. One final question, and thank you so much for sharing. I read that you went 217.1 miles per hour in a roughed RT12. What is a roughed RT12?
Well, first of all, Kim, it's not a competition. It's okay if you didn't go as fast as me.
You know what? I didn't. I know what. How did you know?
I'm just kidding with you. I'm just kidding with you. So a Roof RT12, there's this guy named Louis Roof. He's been around for a long, long time. He's German. He took over his dad's service shop years and years ago and started modifying Porsches, and now he's actually considered a Porsche. He's considered a manufacturer in in Germany. He takes a 911 body in white, basically the shell of a 911, and then he builds the cars up from there. He includes a fully integrated roll cage in every car that he builds, and he gives them lots of horsepower, and it's an amazing handling car. And that was just one of those special days where you're so thankful that you had the chance to be involved in this auto industry and get to do some of the things that we get to do, because that was a pretty special day.
So can I have like an excuse that it was raining the day that I was on the Autobahn?
100%, absolutely.
Oh, good. Yeah. Yes. All right. All right. I was at 199, just to let you know, and I was like,
Tim, that's fantastic.
But
that's awesome. What were you driving?
A Mercedes. It was an S63.
Nice.
AMG, all souped up, and then when the tires started shaking, Mike, or the car started shaking, was a bad sign. So I get off and I look and I'm like, probably should have checked the thread before.
Yeah.
Probably would have been a great idea. We'll post a link to your article over at Komando.com. And if you want to read more about the Tesla report, I just thought it was so fascinating that, Mike was able to go into the car and really kind of dispel all the myths and the ideas that we have about Tesla and whether or not we can truly trust this. You can always check it out over online as well at consumerreports.com. Coming right back, we have our digital life hack you don't want to miss here on the Kim Komando Show. All right, this week's digital life hack is phenomenal. You don't want to miss it. It's our guide to tech that's totally worth the money. Now, I'm going to go through each and individual product, but just keep in mind that as you hear the links, and if you're wondering, well, what was that model number? What did Kim say about that? And that we have everything written out for you in all the details that you need, including the links over at Komando.com. So like, for example, if you want a helpful smart speaker, our choices, the Echo Dot has all the features you expect, comes in around $50. The Google Nest Mini is another good option, and it's also perfect for streaming music and podcasts. What about an essential streaming device? Well, there you have a couple of options too. A Roku streaming stick, it's one of the most popular ones, works with almost every content provider out there. And then the Amazon Fire TV Stick, the 4K. It also supports HDR, Dolby Atmos, and also it's budget friendly. We like that too. What about the best smartwatch that has a lot of features worth the money? The Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2, it's significantly less in price than the just released Galaxy Watch 3 or the Fitbit Charge 4. We're also going to tell you about headphones and also some desktop alternatives that you may be looking at. And for all the links that you need, look no further than the Kim Komando Show website. That's KOMANDO.com. And when you're there, hit the link that says Kim Show. And back to the phones we go with Fred in San Antonio, Texas. Hey there, Fred.
Hey, Kim. Thank you so much for answering my call and my questions.
You got it. What's going on?
So I'm a realtor, and as my business has been growing, I do a newsletter and some small targeting through the mailing. And I was handwriting all the envelopes and everything because I love that little bit of a personal touch. But as my business has grown and it's into the hundreds for my newsletter now, I'm looking at a way to do some more targeting and having a handwritten font, my handwriting, being printed on the envelopes through my computer printer.
Well, because, the whole idea is that if somebody sees a handwritten note, that they're more likely to open it, right?
Right.
Okay, the problem is that everybody's using handwritten notes. I'm just telling you right now that before we talk about the fonts, are you doing a lot of email marketing?
Not so much email. I do some social media, of course.
Well, no, I'm talking
kind of a little bit of an old school guy. I produce my own newsletter.
Okay. Well, here's what I would challenge you to do. Okay, is for you to do it not just by old snail mail, but also to do it in an email format. Now, you don't have to be a web pro to do this, but, getting stuff by email, also works as well. And I understand what you're saying about the newsletter. I have a local realtor who also sends me stuff, and I read it. And he sends me postcards when he lists something and, good things like that. And, if and when I sell my house, I'm going to call him and ask him what he thinks my house is worth because he only works, my specific neighborhood. But just look at a website like constantcontact.com, okay? And you can see that what they do is they put templates up, and so that this way, again, you don't need to be a web nerd in order to figure it all out. But email marketing is really key. There's a website called VLetter, V as in victory, Fred, and letter. And what they do is they create a different type of handwritten font, because if you want a real handwritten font, you want one that has mistakes. Okay, one that has inconsistencies in the letters. And that's what they do. It's discerning to the eye. You can see that it really, truly looks like handwriting versus just somebody who's using a font. They're going to charge you about $50 to create an open type font. And what that means, once it's open type, you can use it in all your word processing, mail merge programs, and things like that. Again, it's vletter.com. Fred, thank you so much for your call. Coming right back, we're going to talk about Windows 10 themes that can steal your passwords here on the Kim Komando Show. All right, here's the deal, is that you have these Windows 10 themes, and you can download legitimate Windows 10 themes over at the Microsoft.com website. But, they have these third-party sites where you can get Windows 10 themes. Now, if you go to the Windows 10 third-party sites and download a theme, you could get a dose of malware, keyloggers, and things like that. So be very careful. Don't go to those sites. And if you did, we've got the steps on how to remove it over at the website. Stay right where you are. We have another jam-packed hour you don't want to miss here on the West Star Multimedia Network. Hey, thanks for watching a past episode of my national radio show. That's why it's called The Kim Komando Show Rewind. Now, to get the entire show, all 3 hours, when it airs live, or you can get on demand, head over to getkim.com and you can become a member of the Komando community. There are a ton of perks. Aside from just the show, you get free ebooks, a place to get answers to your tech questions, and more of me. So come on, what are you waiting for? Click that link right now and become a member. And thank you.